Let's begin.
And you don't want to just cloud your whole melody with reverb and with delay, because then it sounds far away and it just doesn't sound dynamic and interesting. So what you can do to get around that, because we still want delay, we still want reverb, is to automate. So here you can see, I'm just start with the delay. So I've routed the delay on a group, and here's a dry signal. So we're doing this parallel thing with the delay. You can see I'm automating it on and off. I'm not doing it afterwards. That would look like this. I'm doing it before. The difference is, if you do it before, only the notes that you turn it on for are going to get delay. If you do it afterwards, all the notes get delay, but they only pop up in volume at certain times. And the difference would sound like if we had just put it at the end. When it pops on here, you're still going to hear the leftover delay of this guy. The delay was still happening. Its volume only goes up there. But when we put it before, the input of the delay only happens here. So we only get the delay for these notes. It's not like the delay was going the whole time and we're just covering it up. The delay actually only happens on the notes we want it to. So check this out with the delay. That is where the delay is happening, and it just adds a little bit of subtle sort of movement and space on the notes we want it to. Check it out. Now, if we did no automation and just let it go the whole time, it would sound like this. Now, that's an equally, reasonable option, but I just think it's more fun for these things to pop in and pop out and not just be left on, set it and forget it. I think as a producer, you got to pick your spots where you want to add cool effects instead of just leaving them on the whole time. So that was delay. The next thing we're going to look at is reverb. Now, everybody loves reverb, especially when we get started as producers. We oftentimes want to throw reverb on everything because it sounds great. But as you get better, it's good to do it in a controlled way. So I got a couple reverbs going here. Here's one of them. We're going to call this reverb plus 12. This is our dry signal. And then here we have a normal reverb. And why do I call it reverb plus 12? It's because I'm going in with a sound shifter, and before it hits a reverb, I'm putting it up 12 semitones. So it's going up a full octave. It's a little trick you can do on a sound that's sort of low in its register to bring in higher frequencies, higher tones, but that only happens through the reverb. So check this out if we solo it. It has these little crescendos it does. Now check it out in the context. It creates a sweep, almost sort of like a reversed reverb kind of feel. And it's giving you new tones that you don't generally get because now the sound is plus an octave. So we're automating that up. Next, we have our regular reverb, and this is what that sounds like. And you can see the automations I'm doing. I'm giving the first note this sort of like a suction reverb. If you look at the slope that I've created, it's getting out of the way of the original note, and then it sort of creeps up, and then it stops right when the next kick is going to happen. So it sounds like a really intense sidechain to the original synth and to the kick. So it sucks up after the original synth and then dies completely when the kick happens, and it creates this cool rhythm. I'll just play it along with the kick. Listen. Right, and then we play both reverbs together. Pretty cool that we're doing all these effects, which normally you drag in samples. We're just doing it with the original synth, but we're creating new tones by doing pitch shifting and reverb automation. We're having a lot of fun without ever leaving the original synth, which I think is pretty cool.
Let's begin.